One year I shall never forget was when the supervisors, both the primary supervisor and the elementary supervisor, were there with all the teachers in the town. Mr. Robertson was the elementary supervisor. Well, he bought a luscious chocolate cake which received the gold ribbon in the baking cakes. Since our town had 6 schools, the center school having 2 rooms and 2 teachers, there were 7 teachers representing the works of their students. Mr. Robertson cut the cake into portions and served it to the teachers. It was a delicious cake, and I love chocolate. I no sooner got my piece of cake and barely took one bite when someone nudged me and my cake went sailing under someone's feet. Well, I had no more cake. It was gone, and I had to be satisfied to watch the others enjoy theirs. I'm sure that Mr. Robertson saw what happened, but he didn't offer me another piece of cake. I felt kind of badly because I was gypped. What do you think? I don't know if I was just a klutz, but I imagine everyone feels that way at some time or another. The chocolate cake was not the only klutzy or accidental thing which happened to me with food at a function with teachers and all types of school representatives. Every year we had a teachers' convention to which all teachers were supposed to go. I was very faithful and always attended, going from lecture to lecture and to whatever else we had to see and be able to discuss at our teachers' meetings, which were held once a month in our own towns and only with our teachers and supervisors. Once a year or so, there was a special general meeting, rather a convention, of the Connecticut State Educational Association in coordination with the National Education Association representatives from different state areas. Representatives were chosen to represent these certain areas. They were chosen by the superintendents of these different areas, and they had to attend. I and another girl, she was the alternate if I couldn't make it, happened to be chosen one time to represent Colchester, Hebron, Marlborough, and Lebanon. Perhaps Fitchville too, I'm not sure at this time. This was so many years ago, perhaps in 1932 or 1933. There were many people gathered for educational purposes, ideas, curriculum, and so forth. We were given a lovely dinner, after which we listened to many lectures. At the dinner tables, there was much talking, and it was so noisy, as it is in all dinners or parties. The last thing served was delicious ice cream and cakes, mints, more coffee, and still more coffee. Somehow or other, my ice cream happened to slip off the dish, and it rolled under the table. It happened that both the alternate and I were there at the same time, although she was not supposed to be there. She sat right next to me. She was very friendly and full of fun. I think she was even tempted to, and she really did. She kicked the ice cream further so that it wouldn't be near us. We laughed and laughed because it was funny, the way it fell onto the floor. Within a few moments, the waitress appeared, checking on the dinners, and she said, "Oh my, you weren't served your ice cream, were you? How awful." And she came back with a double amount to compensate for the oversight. That's what she thought. But we knew better. My friend and I knew. Well, this was a klutzy episode again. The only difference was that it really was funny. I don't remember how this happened, and was I relieved then that no one else noticed it. Needless to say, I feel embarrassed about it. As I think of it now, it could have fallen on my dress or hers and really created an embarrassment. Well, here I am talking about the school in which I was teaching and about some of the children of my school. It wasn't very long before this that I was a grade school student myself. In fact, only 6 years prior to this time, I was a graduating 8th grader from Gates Hill School in Salem, experiencing firsthand similar episodes, but with kids my own age. And here and now I was the teacher with youngsters looking up to me for their primary education. Maybe it was a good thing. I was very much like these children, only on the upper rounds of the ladder, and I loved it. I think I understood these country school children because of my background. This school, abbreviated, was GHS, Gilead Hill School. And the school to which I went and graduated from was also abbreviated GHS, Gates Hill School. What a coincidence. At that time, in 1929, I didn't give it a second thought. But now, as I write about my past career, it does strike me as very interesting and very coincidental. The girls who graduated with me from normal school, it was a 2-year college, and many of them came from the cities and had not experienced country life as I had, would have found it rather difficult to fit into this rural type living and teaching. I was very interested in it because I came from that same type of education. Sometimes it was very trying on my system too, because of what was expected of the school teacher. Although I am trying to tell my story in proper sequence, I find that my experiences intermingle with one another and are probably not absolutely in the right order or at the absolutely correct year of my life. You see, I have not done any comparison of my information with others to make it absolutely accurate. However, it is close enough to be a true biography of my life, or as true as I remember it. There's so much to tell that I shall appear to be at times flitting from one topic to another. I must return to the time when I was a child, even before starting school. We had no kindergarten, so had to go straight into first grade with absolutely no knowledge of schoolwork. It was up to the teacher to introduce the little ones to each and every basic step of learning experiences. It was a great challenge to both children and teachers.